Friends, in this video, I am giving some of the important questions, very, very important questions, some practice questions for your design of machine elements, machine design syllabus for both APPSC and TSPSC, or probably TSPSC and APPSC. So, let us see the questions. So, one mark questions. So, both can be 1 or 2 marks questions, but they are very, very good questions. So, please practice them. It is going to improve your subject a lot. Okay, that is my assurance. All right, number one. So power is delivered to a shaft by means of some, what is the force? What is the option? Is it tangential force or bending force or axial force or none of these? So please try to locate the answer. Next, a shaft basically transmits. So what type of force it is going to transmit? So is it the bending moment or the combination probably? So is it the bending moment and axial force, or is it the torque and bending moment, or is it the axial force and torque? Is it the combination of all, that is axial force, torque and bending moment? What is the correct answer? Please try to find it out. Next question, shafts are normally manufactured by, so what is the method of manufacturing of shafts, and some other related information, right? So here the options are, shafts are normally manufactured by number 1 hot rolling and finish it to size by cold drying, or is it that cold rolling and finish it to size by hot drying, or is it they are manufactured by hot rolling and finish it to size by hot drying, or finally is it that they are manufactured by cold rolling and finish it to size by cold drying? Okay, so next question, a solid shaft transmits zero point 0.9 megawatts at 210 rpm. The mean torque transmitted by the shaft is, so what is the formula you are going to use here? So he has given the power as 0.9 megawatts, so you have to convert into kilowatts. That means 0.9 into 1000 kilowatts, that is 900 kilowatts, and n speed is given 210 rpm. So you know that the mean torque, okay, so you know the relationship between PTN, that is power, torque and the speed in rpm. So you know that P is equal to 2 pi nt by 60,000. So when n is in rpm and P is in kilowatts, you will get a torque in Newton meters. So substitute them and find the torque transmitted. So T is equal to 60,000 P by 2 pi n. So that is how you can get. So please look at the answer. Next question. A load of 75 kilonewtons is to be lifted by an eye bolt. If 5 mm are to be added to the core diameter, the nominal diameter of the bolt, if the tensile stress in it is not to exceed 125 megapascals. So please try to this. This is from basically the bolts. So you know that bolts are subjected to different types of stresses. They are subjected to initial tension. They are subjected to what you call the forces or the load or the stresses due to external forces, and probably they are subjected to both the combined loads. That means the stresses due to initial tension as well as external forces. So please apply your formula and try to give the answer. So next we will go for the next question. These are probably, so 2 marks questions. They are helpful for all the exams, but definitely they are more helpful for your AMV examination. So please practice such type of standard questions. You are going to easily crack the AMV examination. That is my word. Okay, so here a shaft running at 450 rpm transmits 12.5 kilowatts. If the shear stress in the shaft material is not to exceed 50 megapascals, the diameter of the shaft is. So what is the basic equation to be used for this? T is equal to pi by 16 d cube into Fs, where d is the diameter of the shaft and Fs is the shear stress induced in the shaft, but you have to know the torque. So how you get the torque? T is equal to 60,000 P by 2 pi n. Substitute first P and n and then get T, then substitute T value in T is equal to pi by 16 d cube into Fs. So Fs is given. You can easily find out the diameter of the shaft. Next question. So you can get the answer. Okay, right? So now a shaft of a particular material of 40 mm diameter transmits a torque of, so approximately this is missing somehow. Okay, so some yes, this is given is T. T is the torque transmitted to of torque of T. Another shaft of same material but of diameter 50% more transmits. So this here is a comparison between the two shafts which are transmitting torques of 2 T and 1.5 T. But so now, so here the question is actually he is asking if the diameter is more by, if the for example first diameter is d and the second diameter is 1.5 d, so then what is the torque transmitted? So please use the required equation and get the answer, right? So I have simulated the bits in such a way that they are very confusing, and unless you are good thorough in the subject, probably it is very difficult to answer the questions. But if you answer these questions, okay, from your knowledge, from your studies or from your revision of the subjects, I am damn sure you are going to crack your AMA examination without any doubt. Next question, boys. So a shaft running at a particular speed transmits a torque of 250 Newton meters. Here he has given the torque. If the diameter of the shaft is 25 mm, the permissible shear stress in the shaft material is. So here, so what is the equation you have to use? You have to use so directly he has given torque T is equal to 250 Newton meters is given, and diameter of the shaft is given to be 25 mm, and he is asking your Fs or allowable shear stress or the permissible shear stress. So T is equal to pi by 16 d cube into Fs. So D is given, T is given directly. You can find the Fs very easily. But here the thing is that the problem is here that you have to convert the Newton meter torque into Newton mm, because actually your shaft diameter is in mm. Then you will get the torque, then you will get the directly the permissible shear stress in Newton per mm square, that is megapascals directly. Okay. So now next question, the shafts of same diameter are there, two shafts, okay. So he is saying that two shafts of same diameter are there, their materials are different. The first shaft transmits a torque of T and the second shaft transmits a torque of 2T. If the permissible shear stress in the second shaft is Fs2, the permissible shear stress in the first shaft. Okay, so please use the concerned equation and get the answer. So definitely you will thoroughly enjoy these bits, okay boys. So they are made originally, okay. So they are not copied from any textbook. This is my guarantee, this is my word, and you can verify also, okay boys. So now let us go to the next question. The purpose of making a bolt of uniform strength is to make it. So this is a good question actually, right? So normally the bolts are made of uniform strength by actually drilling a hole, and there is another method also, right? So why it is done actually? So why should you go for making the bolt of uniform strength? So what is the main intention here? Is it to make it weaker and heavier, or stronger and lighter, or is it weaker and lighter, or is it stronger and heavier? So you know that you can easily find that all the words are confusing, right? So unless you have studied the machine design thoroughly to the reasonable depth, probably then only you can probably answer these questions. But if you answer these questions, definitely you are there, your number is there for the interview selection. Next, the bolts of that longitudinal bar stays of a small size boiler are subjected to a tensile load of 1 lakh newtons. If the core diameter of the bolts are 50 mm, the tensile stress induced in the bolts is approximately, this is basically from your boiler. So please try to solve this problem, okay, from using the connected equations. So definitely you will land into the correct answer, right? But I have made the answers also, options also very misleading and misguiding and confusing, so that the only person who has studied the subject thoroughly, or the student who has studied the subject thoroughly, okay, who have got the good concept, they can only answer these questions, right? Next question, the equivalent bending moment when a shaft is subjected to a BM of M and torque of T is, okay. So here is asking that the equivalent, what is the equivalent bending moment when the shaft is subjected to a bending moment of M and a torque of T. So is it under root of m square plus t square, or is it half of under root of m plus m square plus t square, or is it half of m plus under root of m square plus t square, or is it m plus under root of m square plus t square? Please see this very carefully, okay. So the person who has studied okay, a reasonable level to a reasonable level in the machine design, you can easily answer this question. Next question, the correct statement about shafts among the following is, so which of these following statements is the correct statement? The counter shafts or crankshafts, the counter shafts and crankshafts both are examples for transmission shafts, or is it that the counter shafts and crankshafts both are examples for machine shafts, or is it that the counter shafts are examples for transmission shafts, and crankshafts are examples for machine shafts? Or is it that finally the counter shafts are examples for machine shafts and crankshafts are examples for transmission shafts? Which is the correct answer? Okay, boys, choose it correctly. So next question. In a bolt, the direct shear stress is 4 Newton per mm square, and the direct tensile stress is 2.5 Newton per mm square. Please check it. I think it is 2.5 only, right? Hence, the maximum tensile stress induced in the bolt is increased than direct tensile stress. So he has given shear stress and tensile stress. You know that from maximum principal stress theory. Then what is the maximum tensile stress induced? It is half of, okay, that means ft by 2 plus under root of ft by 2 whole square plus tau square, where tau is the shear stress and ft is the tensile stress, right? So please use this and get the equivalent, or what you call maximum tensile stress. Then once you get maximum tensile stress, you can easily compare it and give the answer. So he is comparing the maximum tensile stress because of the application of both the stresses simultaneously and also the direct tensile stress. So I think you can easily locate the answer. So next, the strength of bolted joints compared to riveted or welded joints is. So now here is a comparison between bolted joints, riveted joints and welded joints. So what is the correct answer? Is not much. That means the strength of bolted joints is not much and stress concentration is a great disadvantage. Is this correct? Or is very high? The strength of bolted joints is very high and stress concentration is a great advantage. So is this correct? Or is it that it is not much? That means the strength of bolted joint is not much, but stress concentration is a great advantage. Or is it that finally the strength of bolted joints is very high and the stress concentration is a great disadvantage? Okay, boys. So I think we can stop here. So probably I think I'll be providing the answers also. But my advice is that, okay, so if you have prepared or if you have not prepared also, please read the books and try to solve these problems. And definitely they are going to solve these theory questions and also problems, and they are going to give you a very good practice. Once again, let us meet in a good, excellent video very shortly. Once again, good luck and all the best. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe my channel and like and comment and share among your groups and contacts. Once again, all the best.